Shalom, everyone. So, I'm going to be talking about Romans chapter 7, or Romayim 7. We often wrestle with the words we find in the Greek Textus Receptus, particularly when reviewing the writings in the epistles. Sha'ul, Paul, can prove to be very difficult. For instance, let's take a walk through Romayim 7. In this chapter, we found ourselves wrestling with the word nomos. The word nomos, Strong's 3551, stems from the primary root nemo, which means to parcel out, especially food or grazing to animals. That is kind of interesting. The word nomos, however, means law, or in the genitive case, regulation. Figuratively, it can be construed as meaning a principle, but the failsafe is law. In the Hebrew, the word that is most often translated as law is Torah, which has so many meanings, but is construed by Strong's as meaning a precept or statute. Especially the Decalogue or the Pentateuch, generally interpreted as law. Consider this passage in Bereshith, Genesis. Bereshith, Genesis 26:5. Because that Abraham obeyed, which the word is in Hebrew Shama, my voice, and did guard Shamar, my watch, Mishmereth, my commandments, mitzvah, my statutes, Zuka, and my Torah. Although the word Torah, which means instruction, is often interpreted in English as law, the word mitzvah means that particular commandment. In the plural, the word is mitzvaoth, the feminine plural, meaning commandments. There is no Greek word for statute, but in Hebrew we have a word chok. Therefore, where the word nomos is used in reference to a single law or command, the Hebrew equivalent would be either mitzvah, command, or chok, statute. As we look at Romayim 7, you will see how we handled this particular issue. Romayim Romans 7:1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the Torah, how the Torah has dominion over a man as long as he lives. Let's take this apart just a bit. The word dominion in this passage is kyrio in the Greek, which is a derivative of kyrios, the word interpreted as Lord in the New Testament. So another way of saying that the Torah has dominion is to say it has lordship. And the phrase as long as he lives can also be registered as for all the times of his life. Even easier to understand in the English would be this phrasing. Brother, do you not know, to those of who know the Torah, that the Torah controls all of the times of your life? Understood this way, it is possible that Sha'ul, Paul, is talking about the Torah, is talking not about the Torah, but rather the Mishnah. It is the Mishnah that controls all the times of the life of man, not the Torah. The Mishnah is the codification of the oral Torah, which were those laws, statutes, precedents, and legal interpretations not set forth in Torah itself. It was a man-made doctrine by the Judaizers, who also, just like all sects of Christianity and well, in a broad sense, just all sects of Christianity have blended the scripture into man-made traditions. So the Mishnah is a self-confessed code of conduct, whereas the Torah is a broadly based system of instruction. The Mishnah directs the rituals, the worship practices, the parameters of the relations with God and with interpersonal relationships. Dietary laws, Sabbath or Shabbat practices, marital relationships, agricultural practices, civil claims, damages, even the times of prayer and the washing of the hands. It is a comprehensive code of conduct capable of exercising dominion over all of the days of a person's life. In the Greek, we cannot tell because the word nomos would apply to both the Torah and the Mishnah. Remember, that Sha'ul was a Pharisee or Parashim by his own confession, which made him schooled in all of the Mishnah, given that the practices of the faith in those days did not segregate the written Torah from the oral Torah. It is possible, or is it possible, that Sha'ul, when making reference to the nomos, meant the combination of both in all instances? Such a conclusion would give a new meaning to every instruction given by Paul in reference to the nomos. Let us continue to pursue the writing in Romayim Romans 7 from verse 2 through verse 6. Given the context of the discussion, we have elected to replace the word law, typically used in place of the Greek nomos, with the word mitzvah, meaning a singular command. Romayim Romans 7 2 to 3. For the woman which has a man is bound by that mitzvah to her man so long as he lives. But if the man be dead, she is loosed from that mitzvah of her man. So then, if while her man lives, she be married to another man, she shall be a woman that breaks wedlock. But if her man be dead, she is free from that mitzvah, so that she is no breaker of wedlock, though she be married to another man. Here, Sha'ul is giving us a particular mitzvah from the Torah, not from the Mishnah, or an oral law that is otherwise unknown to the world of those unschooled in the practices of the Pharisees, Parashim. How is this relevant if the Torah was not applicable? Here is the passage itself. Bereshith, Genesis 2:24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. This mitzvah has a completion in the words of Hamashiach, Messiah. Matthew 19:3-9. The Parashim also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his woman for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? And said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his woman, and they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore Yah has joined together, let no man put asunder. They say unto him, What did Moshe then command to give a writing of divorcement, and to put her away? He said unto them, Moshe, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your women. But from the beginning it was not so. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his woman, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, breaks wedlock. And whoso marries her which is put away breaks wedlock. It is from this context that Sha'ul launches into the most delicate of discussions concerning the metaphor of the groom and the bride. Romans 7 4-5. Wherefore, my brethren, ye also put to death that mitzvah by the body of Hamashiach, that ye should be married to another, even to him who was raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit unto Yah. First, we understand that the house of Yasharel, all of the 12 tribes, was a bride to Yah, and Yah was a husband unto the house of Yasharel. In the Hebrew, the word for husband is the same as the word for master and lord, which is Baal. The word Baal, Strong's 1167, means a master, hence a husband or lord. Now, in the Sefer Husha, which is the scroll of Hosea, we have a statement concerning this very issue and a prophecy concerning the coming of the Son of Man. Husha, Hosea 2:16. And it shall be in that day, says Yahuah, that you shall call me Ishi, and shall call me no more Baali. That's interesting, isn't it? It is Yahuah who speaks, saying that he is called Baali, properly translated as my Lord. Then he predicts the coming day that we will call him Ishi, which is properly translated as my man. This, therefore, is a prophecy concerning the coming of the Son of Man, the manifestation of Yah in the flesh. But this is also a prophecy concerning the coming divorce of both the house of Yasharel and the house of Judah, as set forth in Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah 3. Yet Sha'ul argues here that we are free from the mitzvah of wedlock, not only the death in the body of Mashiach, but our death in him. This passage then declares that the mitzvah concerning wedlock and the freedom to remarry following the death of the husband is no longer applicable, because both the husband and the wife have passed. Romayim Romans 7:5-6. For when we were in the flesh, the motions of the sin, which were by that mitzvah, did work in our members to bring forth fruit unto death. But now we are delivered from that mitzvah, that being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve in newness of the Ruach, the Spirit, and not in the oldness of the letter. Sha'ul then elaborates that wedlock and the birthing of progeny nonetheless continues a cycle of death, from birth to death. But delivery from that cycle happens through being reborn in the Ruach or Spirit, or born again, following the death of the old man of sin vicariously in the death of Mashiach. So, in this passage, is Sha'ul talking about the Torah being dead? No, he is speaking in particular about the specific mitzvah which governs the ability to remarry following the death of the husband, and that only. He even goes on to clear this up in the very next verse. Romayim Romans 7:7-25. What shall we say then? Is the Torah sin? Never. Nay, I had not known sin but by the Torah. For I had not known lust, except the Torah had said, "You shall not covet." But sin, taking occasion by the commandment, wrought all manner of uncleanness. For without the Torah sin was dead. For I was alive without the Torah once, but when the commandment came, sin revived, and I died. And the commandment which was ordained to life I found to be unto death. For sin, taking occasion by the commandment, deceived me, and by it slew me. Wherefore the Torah is holy, and the commandment holy, and just, and good. Was then that which is good made death unto me? Never. But sin, that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good, that sin by the commandment might become exceeding sinful. For we know that the Torah is of the Ruach, of the Spirit, but I am carnal, trafficked by sin. For that which I do allow, excuse me, for that which I do I allow not. For what I would, that I do, that do I not. But what I hate, that I do. If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the Torah that it is good. Now then it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwells no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good, I find not. For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. Now if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwells in me. I find then a mitzvah, that when I would do good, evil is present with me. For I delight in the Torah of Yahuah after the inward man, but I see another instruction in my members, warring against the instruction of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the instruction of sin which is in my members. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? I thank Yahuah through Yahushua HaMashiach, our Adonai. So then, with the mind I myself serve the Torah of Yahuah, but with the flesh the instruction of sin.